Hello, today we're having a look at a 2006 Mercedes A200 Turbo. There we go, air conditioning that works. Here we are today for another car review. Today I have a 2006 Mercedes A-Class 200 Turbo Avant-Garde. You know, you probably see these around the streets every now and again. The normal Mercedes A-Class anyway. And you probably don't really think too much of it. It's just a car, something your grandma would probably drive to the shops and back. However, this one is a little bit different. First of all, it only has two doors. And then second of all, 18-inch wheels, which is very good. It's a little bit lower than a normal A-Class, and it looks a little bit more sporty, doesn't it? Well, it may not look as sporty as, let's say, the Volkswagen Golf GTI. Let me assure you that it definitely has the power to match. In the engine bay, there's a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo, putting out 142 kilowatt and 280 newton meters of torque at just 1800 RPM. The car weighs 1,276 kilos, and with a 54-litre fuel tank, the combined fuel consumption in this car is about 8.1 litres per 100. The car also comes with a sports exhaust and also sports suspension. Then on to the boot. Well, there's a little button. Then up it comes. And what's good is Mercedes have got a little flap here, cover all your cargo up for those little thieves can't see in there. It does fit quite a lot in the boot. This can come out, by the way, this little flap, as well as all the front seats. All the back seats can fold down. Now, to get a little bit extra space, you have to pull these seats up like this. Which is a little bit awkward. Like that. And then pull those down like so, and there you have it. Look at all that space. You can actually fit quite a lot in there. You don't really need much more space than that in a hatch, do you? And space in the back, well, it is a two-door. Look at that, it's actually quite roomy back here. And quite easy to get in and out of. Inside the car, it's quite comfortable. It has these, well, I think Mercedes calls it leather, but I think it's vinyl. Well, actually not I think, I know. On the sides, and then a little fabric sporty little insert thing going on here. Looks quite good. A black interior, mostly. Except for the roof, that's a lighter beige. Got all steering wheel controls for your phone, volume, multitudes of different window buttons for all the different display stuff you can put up on your dash, including like digital speedo, your radio stations, and heaps of things. We have a nice little radio going on here, with CD player, aircon, climate control, dual climate control by the way, 4 electric front windows, because it doesn't have any form of up or down in the back. automatic lights, automatic windscreen wipers, and you can do manual and all that intermittent stuff as well. Nice little, see, this model in particular has like a stainless steely and leather knob here, which feels good in your hand. Leather steering wheel, which feels quite good, and it's got a bit of cushion to it as well. Overall, it's got a bit of space. You're high up in the seat. You can see around the car quite well, which is something you never normally get in, let's say, a Golf GTI or Focus RS, for instance. So this really pulls it apart from a lot of the other hot hatches. It's got cup holders everywhere. It's got stainless steel pedals. It's definitely going with that sporty type theme. In the back, there's like these little cup holders that fold down out of the armrest too. Little armrest thingy that moves back and forth, which is interesting. Oh, leather handbrake. Oh yes, one thing I forgot to mention was it also has parking sensors, front and rear. So up here, there's a little parking sensor thing to see how close and far away. Little lights and LEDs come up there, and it also has it in the back. I don't know if you can see back there, but it has the same thing on the roof back there. So when you're reversing, you can actually see it through the mirror, which is quite nifty. I like it. Window up because it's quite cold. And let's get going for our first little drive. Do I want to take it through the puddle? Probably not. Let's turn the aircon on. It's starting to fog up in here. Is it hot in here or is it just me? First thing you notice in this car is the power. It is a little bit damp on these roads right now, so that's part of it. Oh. Traction has to kick in there. I'm not trying to spin the wheels at all. In the dry, it does have a lot more get up and go that I can't really show too much for you in this video, at least not on the roads we're on right now. But that power is a lot more than you would think it would be. You have to be so careful when you're accelerating off from a standstill. The second thing you notice in this car is the suspension. While it may look like Grandma's daily driver, it's actually quite firm. And if your grandma got in this, she'd probably complain that it's a little bit too harsh. And you can feel all the bumps. There's next to no turbo lag in this whatsoever. And for those of you watching this video wondering why that aren't as much of a car person and doesn't really know what turbo lag is, it's when you have a turboed car, when you put the throttle down, normally it can take a bit of a time for the turbo to kick in and start making the power. But in this car, it's just nearly instantly on boost. The turbo's there straight away. The turbo's just there always. And that's good, that's great. Obviously, a turbo that comes in so soon isn't great for in the wet like this, and you're trying to take off from lights and take off from standstill, and you just end up spinning the wheels. So it's not quite practical in that respect. Well, we are just driving sort of normal streets right now. When I said the suspension's hard, it's not like, for example, Porsche GT3 RS type hard, where you feel every little pebble, but it's still quite firm for a road car. Also, the headlights in this car, it's reasonably, it's not dark, I mean it's daytime, it's about 5 o'clock p.m, 5 p.m, that sort of time, where the sun is starting to go down. It's a little bit dark, so I'm hoping you can see me properly in the camera. I've turned the lights on here so that you can. The headlights are actually really good in this car, even though it's not real dark. I can actually see the headlights beaming on the road right now. And you're probably wondering right now, well, if it's so dark, why do you have sunglasses on? And my answer to that is, well, I forgot they were on. Now that I've taken it for a little bit of a drive on normal type roads, being a sporty performance-like car, I might as well throw it through some more twisty type turns and show you how it goes in more of a sporty scenario. However, let me remind you, it is quite damp on the roads right now. Road work ahead. I might just slow down for a second. It is quite damp on the road right now, so I can't give it full beans. Oh, we're all stopping. All stopping. This isn't going to work out well, is it? Alright. Back to the review. Going through the more twisty turns like this. The brake's quite good, by the way. It's a little bit understeery, but you sort of expect that from a small turbo 4-cylinder front-wheel drive car like this. In the corners it can sit quite flat because it does have quite firm suspension, and like there's barely any body roll at all going through that turn, which is good. I love that. But overall, the handling of the car and the way the car reacts in all the turns and everything is actually quite good. I quite like the feeling of the handling in this car. You can really power out of those turns as well. One thing I don't like about this car in these little twisty turns is, like, on the road it's good, parking is good, but when it comes to these twisty turns, the steering wheel feel, for me, it's a bit too light, it's a bit too artificial. It doesn't give you the confidence going into a turn, and you can't feel what's happening on the road. Like turning right now, going into a bit of a corner, I can't feel it. You just sort of have to turn the wheel and guess where the car's going to be rather than know. I mean, the handling's really good, but it's just that really light steering feel that I really wish, when Mercedes made this car and they wanted to give a bit of that sporty, I mean, this is a sporty hot hatch, that's what it is. And so you would think that they would give the car a little bit more of a firmer steering wheel feel in a car like this. Because I mean, that's sort of what the car's for, isn't it? Ah, okay, I ran out of light, so I couldn't do my conclusion. So what do I think of the car in general? I think it's great. It looks good, it looks quite sporty. Interior wise, I'm quite comfortable in the car. I quite like the surroundings. The plastics are a little bit cheap here and there, but you sort of expect that of a cheaper entry-level type Mercedes. But generally the interior is quite good. I like it in there. Handling wise, I think it handles quite good for hot hatch, other than probably the steering feel being a little bit light when you're really trying to push it hard and you're going into the turns, and I think it should have a little bit more steering feel when the speed increases. On the road day to day, steering wheel feel is fine when you're just driving the car around normally. There's no problem with that whatsoever. Power, it's quite good. I don't like how the power comes in so soon at like 1800 RPM, and obviously the consequence of that is that the power dies out higher up in the rev range, lower in the rev range as well, because the higher revs you go, you do feel the car starting to lose power a little bit. It's not making as much power up top of the rev range. That's a consequence of the car making more power down low. But with the power coming in down low, the car is probably more fun to drive, and it does feel like it's got more power than what it actually does. The transmission's quite good, the 7-speed in that. Constantly variable transmission that's in that. Maintenance wise, yeah, if you're looking at a Golf GTI or something, then they're probably not too different between a Mercedes and a Golf GTI, but don't buy one expecting that they're going to be, I don't know, Mazda 3 type reliability and cheap to fix sort of thing, because this isn't the car for you. Also, these cars are quite good value for money right now, at least on the Australian market. When you compare it to, again, I'm going to compare it to a Golf GTI, which is probably its biggest competitor. A same year Golf GTI is worth probably about 12, 13-ish right now as I film this, whereas an A200 Turbo is probably worth about 10-ish. So that's good value for money, because the Golf GTI was about $40,000 retail when it was new, whereas the A200 Turbo was about $47,000 recommended retail price new. So you're getting better value for money with an A200 Turbo. Look, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more videos, and if you have any questions or you want to book a consultation with Car Consulting Australia, go to our website, give us a call, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye. Remember, our job at Car Consulting Australia is to help you in the buying of your next car, whether that be from the initial stage of choosing it, to finding it, to finance, anything in the buying of your next car. Don't hesitate to contact us on the details on your screen now.